What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And I don't really know what to say other than what's going on. I got Macro's Dead Games video from like 9 months ago, and I wanted to react to it because in like 3 months he's gonna make another one, and I want to know if I should test any of these games to see if they're still dead. Maybe make a video series on it, because my first video series crashed because I literally only made one game from it, and I wanted to get some inspiration by reacting to this video. So, hope you enjoy, and you know exactly what to do. Do that, and yeah, we're good. So, everything's updating. Literally everything's updating. Look at this. Update queued, update queued, update queued, update queued, update queued, updating, like... Holy shit. Do that one. Holy crap, I was dying over here. I can't play Overwatch because of things. Project Playtime, Ultimate Custom Night, Splitgate. I'm saving these all for a new video series coming out. So we got a reaction video here from Macro. He posted this literally 9 months ago, which means that in about 3 months there's another one of these gonna come out. But I want to see if any of these has come back. It's a Dead Games tier list. I watched once a long time ago, like when it first came out, and I completely forget. So yeah, Macro.
Okay, so let's get started. When I say dead, it doesn't necessarily mean that nobody plays it anymore, but it definitely means that the game is no longer going to be developed, pushed to its further extent, or it's not going to grow. So let's first talk about the tiers. We have S tier, which is did nothing wrong. In this tier is going to be all the games that honestly, there was absolutely nothing that it did wrong. Everything that caused it to die was literally out of their control. Whether it was bad timing, whether it was bad developers, so that's S tier. In A tier, it's a couple missteps somewhere, but a great game. So this is where, like, you know, a couple things they could have done better. They could have tweaked a couple things here and there, but otherwise it's a pretty phenomenal game, and I think it probably should have done better. Then in B tier, we just have games that just deserved better, but you know, you kind of knew they were gonna die. You know, maybe they deserve to last like another year or just have a little bit more of a player base. That's B tier. C tier are for the games that death makes sense, like, you know, like, yeah, it makes sense why it died, but it could have been better. So these are ones that are like, you're not gonna question its death. In D tier, it's gonna be for the things that it was obviously always going to die. That's where D tier is. It's these games that when you see them, you're like, that looks fun, but it's dead, right? And then an F tier is dead on arrival. Games that just did not even have a chance. Like, right when you played it, you're like, I don't want to play this ever again. This game's dead. F tier is crazy, man. Probably not gonna be that many in F tier, but the things that are, like, you'll know when you know. Okay, Among Us is perfectly the best example of B tier. Why is it B tier? Well, one, it still has the potential to make a huge comeback, and it's gonna do fine with the VR side of things. This is a perfect example of a game that just deserved better. We got Apex Legends Mobile. Apex Legends Mobile, I was never really a big fan of, to be completely honest with you. I always thought it was kind of like ridiculous that they're gonna make a mobile version that was like low-key kind of better than the main version, or at least at the time it was better because it had team deathmatch, it had solo modes, it had a bunch of really cool things, it had its own legends, it had Fade and Rhapsody, all these really cool, unique individual legends. But beyond that, it was like, who is this for, right? Like, who's actually gonna play the mobile version of this game? Back 4 Blood. So we got Back 4 Blood. Oh man, I'm gonna put it in C tier above Apex Legends Mobile. Its death always made sense. Let me explain why. The reality is, like, it was just trying to be Left 4 Dead 3, but it wasn't as good as Left 4 Dead, and also I feel like the zombie genre is just too late, you know what I mean? I just feel like Back 4 Blood just was always gonna be in a bad position. But Blood Hunt is an A tier. I think Blood Hunt is an A tier for sure. The only thing that was holding it back was its aesthetic, because otherwise its gameplay feels really good, the movement feels clean, the core mechanics that they added in general are super fun, and for some people the aesthetic is what they love about it. They love the vampire vibe, they love the creepy, ghoulish thing that happens with Blood Hunt. But for me, I think that's literally what made it hard to market for a more general and wide audience, because otherwise it's genuinely a pretty solid game. Dead. We got Fall Guys. Oh man, Fall Guys, where do we start, man? I'm gonna put it above Among Us in B tier, because I do think the developers cared a lot more about Fall Guys than Among Us, but I also think that the Fall Guys gameplay loop needed constant updates to be fun. So I think the one thing that they could have done to truly save Fall Guys right off the bat is to make a map maker. Had they made a map maker, that would have not only created a whole side community of people making fun, goofy obstacle courses and matches and all these other things that would just keep a whole separate community alive, but on top of that, the main core community of people that just like messing around and playing with their friends on new stuff would also be thriving. So I think Fall Guys just required constant crazy amount of updates, but the only thing that they updated consistently every single time was mostly cosmetic, which were great, but we already saw that the player base has dwindled again to a point where it was before. That's why I think it's B tier. I think it just deserved better. And who knows, maybe it'll make a third wave. Maybe it'll make a third resurgence and have a huge comeback again, because I don't mind it. If any game made a huge comeback and was like the #1 trending game again, if it was Fall Guys, I wouldn't be upset, but I don't think it will, honestly. So B tier. Oh,
I'm pretty sure they already made a map maker. Fall Guys made a map maker and now is in like the middle. No? I'm not streaming, so I can't ask people, so I'm just gonna keep on with this because this is gonna take a lot of editing.
So this is the most controversial take. A lot of people really got upset with me on Twitter, on YouTube, on everything. And they're probably going to be upset with me right now, even in the comment section. But I put Halo Infinite in the dead games category. Obviously, I understand. As somebody that plays the game a lot, as somebody who's Onyx, which is like the highest rank, as somebody who forged a ton, as somebody who keeps up with like Mint Blitz and all these other content creators, I love Halo Infinite, and I'm going to put it above Fall Guys. Halo Infinite literally would have been in a phenomenal position if it was with a different developing team. And I don't want to just blame 343 because Microsoft is the reason. If they just waited an extra year, right? Like say Halo Infinite released in its current state a month ago, that it would have done phenomenally. But because it came out like it did in its state, it didn't do well. It had 20 million people playing it when it first released, and only 3,000 people are like, yeah, I'll still keep playing it. That's less than 1% of a percent. We had 2 whole seasons in a year. We had that same battle pass for 6 months straight, and then we had another season, same battle pass 6 months straight, and then finally we got Forge. Do I think it could make a comeback? Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft is already cooking up another Halo game. Hyperscape. I know how many of y'all in the chat not only have started following me or even started watching my YouTube or started watching my Twitch, whatever. I know a lot of people know how much I love Hyperscape. I would say that Hyperscape is in A tier, below Bloodhunt. Let me explain. I think fundamentally, Hyperscape's gameplay loop was very good, but the one thing that they messed up with pretty badly was making the game a little too sweaty. Next we got Icon's Combat Arena. I'm gonna put that in D tier. It was obviously gonna die. I don't think it was dead on arrival. I think people were really excited for a Melee competitor. It was a platform fighter that was very reminiscent of Melee, but there was no way you could justify playing it over Melee. You know, next up we got Knockout City. Oh my god, the dodgeball game. I'm gonna put it above Apex Mobile. I think I'll put it in top of C tier. So Knockout City is so unique. Like, I'm not gonna deny it was out there. It was cool. It was like this really fun dodgeball 3v3 third-person shooter. It was super unique, but I could also just tell like this was not gonna last, you know? I had a feeling. One of the biggest turning off points for me was definitely its style. I think its style looked really bad. This is a game that I really, really liked, and for some reason, they just stopped updating it. Stop.
Multiverse will return early 2024. It is currently February 15th, 2024. Unless it goes in like the feedback and inspiration on June 25th in early 2024. Unless it releases in March, it's gone completely.
And that's Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. The difference between Multiverses and Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is jarring, because Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl was way worse. It looked terrible. There was no voice acting, so you didn't hear SpongeBob's you didn't hear Nigel Thornberry's smashing. You didn't hear Danny Phantom's I'm going ghost! Like, what? You're not gonna make a platform fighter that has no voice acting. The game feels terrible. The game was like, oh, I hated how it felt. It had a pretty stacked cast, but I think the gameplay was terrible, and the actual aesthetic was also equally as terrible. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, F tier. I think it was dead on arrival. I played it, I hated it, and I knew it was gonna die, and it's dead. But hey, they had Garfield. They got Garfield. Lasagna. Rainbow Six Extraction. I think it's D tier. I think low D tier. It was so obvious it was going to die. I didn't feel like it needed to be an entirely different game. That could have easily just been like an event. Is there anybody that really was like hyped about the game? Like, if you are, leave a comment in the comments down below. Anyway, now we got Realm Royale. I don't know, part of me in my soul, it just knew it wasn't gonna last. Top of C tier. Rogue Company! Rogue Company could have been something pretty tight. Gunplay-wise, not too bad. The gameplay was a little wonky. I think the third-person part of it was actually bad. Like, I almost think it would have been better off as a first-person shooter. The actual characters they designed were super tight. Yeah, I always thought Glitch's aesthetic in his design was always super fire. I thought a lot of the characters were really cool. I actually really thought it had a chance. Rogue Company, though, let's see where I want to put it. Probably bottom of B tier. I do think it deserved better overall. Rumbleverse. For me, I knew it was dead on arrival, but for others, they think it's like the greatest game ever and did nothing wrong. It's truly like really out there, right? I think that Rumbleverse, it's like the low realm in C tier. We got Spellbreak. Spellbreak's gone. Yeah, it's truly a dead game. I'm putting Spellbreak on the top of B tier.
I truly wanted to try Spellbreak like a long time ago, but because it was teen rated, like 3 or 4 years ago, when I just got Fortnite and I was like 12 years old, I was not allowed to play it. But I really wish I tried that game. I was also a big Harry Potter fanatic back then. I actually read things, so I don't know. I kind of wish it was still here, but no, it's not even on Steam anymore. You can't even find it anymore.
Splitgate's top of A tier. There were a couple missteps, but damn, it was so good. One of the only issues I had with Splitgate is that, like, if Splitgate had Halo Infinite's graphics, it would have been amazing. It was every Halo fan's dream. We all really liked it. What I think really kind of ironically helped.
I object. Jack, Super Jeff Man, shameless plug, check out the channel. He's a crazy Halo fan. He never shuts up of getting me to download the Master Chief Collection on my Xbox so we can play old Halo games together. He hated Splitgate. He hated Splitgate with a vengeance. Like, he tried to play Splitgate and he hated it with every square centimeter of his gut. He complete garbage. I've never played it, I can't say. I downloaded it and then I deleted it because space-wise, because my Steam account was on my brother's laptop because I used to mine, and didn't have enough space for it, so that's why it's there. I never actually played it, but the one friend I have who absolutely loves Halo hates this game, totally hates it. So I do object against you, Mr. Macro.
Held back Splitgate, and it's a hot take. I know it's a hot take. I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be steamy. It could have been better without portals.
Perfect. What if we made
Splitgate
without the
Splitgate?
The biggest part about Splitgate is like they kind of knew that like the portals were more of a gimmick and something that would turn off a lot of players. So like when you say the statement like Macro, just go play Halo. No, because Splitgate did something better than Halo. Splitgate's gunplay was so solid. It felt amazing. And this is one of those things where, like, if they were the developers that made Halo Infinite would be crushing it. Because I trust these developers with whatever they're going to work on. And I think it would have been tight to see them work on Halo. Anyway, last three. We got Super People. I'm putting it in F tier. I'm just gonna be real with you. It was dead on arrival. The game was worse PUBG. The game was just a mobile game. It looked terrible. It felt terrible. The gameplay sucked. The movement sucked. The map sucked. Moving on. Oh, Temtem, dude. I'm putting it in the bottom of T tier. Let's be honest here. Pokemon is never going away. Pokemon hasn't been good in years. Pokemon has progressively made worse games, and they always outperform themselves. So it doesn't matter if your game is objectively better mechanically than Pokemon, because Pokemon is just always gonna win. Sorry, Temtem. It was the biggest uphill battle. Other games are having an uphill battle, like fighting against like Smash Bros and stuff. Fighting against Pokemon is literally trying to walk up a skyscraper. It's literally impossible, dude. Almost all the designs are kind of bad for most of their Temtem.
Hold up. Let me see this. So Temtem was a Pokemon game?
It's literally impossible, dude. Almost all the designs are...
Alright, neutral, fire, water, nature, wind, mental, earth, electric, digital, melee, crystal, toxic. This is Power World. This is literally Power World. I wonder if they made the same thing. I wonder if the developers of Temtem made Power World. I'll have to look this up.
They're kind of bad for most of their Temtem, dude. So yeah, obviously Titanfall 2's last, and some people already guessed it. There's a reason I have an S tier, did nothing wrong, and that's gonna go for Titanfall 2. Let's talk about Titanfall 2 again.
No thanks, man. I think I'm pretty good here, honestly.